Intermittent projector shutdown. Think of an intermittent projector shut down not as a glitch, but as an emergency safety mechanism. Traditional projectors are essentially boxes that hold a miniature, high-pressure sun. They generate a massive amount of heat, and if that heat isn't managed perfectly, the internal components will melt, or the bulb will literally explode. For the CompTIA A+ exam, you must understand that when a projector randomly turns itself off in the middle of a presentation, it is usually the hardware intentionally killing the power to save its own life. As a technician, you must learn to read the projector's warning signs to determine if it is suffocating, starving for power, or simply going to sleep. Part 1. Thermal protection, the #1 cause. If a user complains that a projector works perfectly for exactly 15 to 30 minutes and then suddenly goes black, you are almost always dealing with an overheating issue. Projectors have internal thermal sensors. If the temperature inside the bulb chamber exceeds a safe threshold, the motherboard will instantly sever the power to the bulb while leaving the cooling fans running at maximum speed. Why do they overheat? Clogged dust filters. Projectors pull in room air to cool the bulb. Every projector has a physical, removable sponge or mesh filter over the intake vents. If this filter becomes caked in dust, airflow stops, and the projector suffocates. The fix: slide the filter out and gently clean it with compressed air or wash it if the manual allows. This should be a routine maintenance task in any corporate environment. Blocked vents. Users frequently stack books or papers right next to a projector on a conference table, blocking the exhaust vents. The hot air bounces off the obstruction and is sucked right back into the machine. Failing fans. Listen closely to the unit. If you don't hear the distinct hum of the cooling fans, or if they sound like they are grinding, the fan motor has died. Without the fan, the projector will overheat and shut down within minutes of being turned on. Part 2. The warning LEDs. Before you take anything apart, look at the top of the projector chassis. Next to the power button, there are usually 2 or 3 specific diagnostic LEDs labeled temp, temperature, and lamp. Flashing red temp light, this confirms the thermal sensor tripped. Check the filters and the fans. Flashing red lamp light. The projector is detecting an electrical anomaly with the bulb itself or the ballast, the internal power supply that drives the bulb. As a bulb reaches the absolute end of its life, it requires more and more voltage to keep the arc lit. If the ballast cannot supply enough power, the bulb flickers out and the projector shuts down. Part 3. Software and signal dropouts. Sometimes, a projector shutting down has nothing to do with hardware failure. It is doing exactly what it was programmed to do. The auto-off timer. To save the incredibly expensive bulb, most projectors have an energy-saving feature enabled by default. If the projector does not detect an active video signal on the selected input port for a specific amount of time, usually 15 or 30 minutes, it will automatically power itself down. The diagnosis: if a user's laptop goes to sleep during a long speech, it stops sending video down the HDMI cable. The projector assumes the meeting is over, starts a countdown, and shuts off. The fix: ensure the presenter's laptop power settings are configured to never put the display to sleep while plugged in, and check the projector's OSD menu to adjust the auto-off timer. Part 4. Power delivery. Finally, do not overlook the most basic physical connection. Projectors are heavy and often mounted to the ceiling, where they are subjected to vibrations from walking on the floor above or from heavy HVAC units. The loose cable. The thick, 3-pronged IEC power cable can slowly wiggle loose from the back of the projector over months of vibration. A heavy truck driving by outside might be just enough to break the electrical connection for a split second, causing the projector to completely reboot. Ensure the power cable is seated firmly and, if possible, secured with a zip tie or clip. Summary for the professional technician. To lock this in for your exam troubleshooting steps: Overheating. A shutdown after 15–30 minutes is almost always thermal. Check for clogged dust filters, blocked vents, or dead fans. Diagnostic LEDs. Look for the temp or lamp lights to glow solid or flash red, indicating exactly which safety sensor tripped. Auto-off features. Ensure the projector isn't simply going to sleep because the presenter's laptop stopped sending a video signal. Vibration. Check for a loose power cable, especially on ceiling-mounted units.